Hello, welcome to MGP497. I'm Kev, and with me as ever, this Sheepdog, Anna, and Pab. Say hello, boys and girls.
Hello.
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 Anna's back.
Welcome.
What?
You're back.
I'm back.
You missed like the last 10 minutes of last week, didn't you?
Because you were all cheating, that's why.
Should I not be bringing this back up?
I'll leave.
Yeah.
I'll just go.
No, don't go anywhere. We need out of here.
You're all mean.
We're back on regularly numbered episodes now. The countdown to 500 is in full flow. We've only got a few weeks, and then Pab's got all our gifts ready for us for hitting 500 episodes. I can't wait. Really excited to see what he's got us. Lovely gifts.
He's hopefully got something big up his sleeve to surprise us with.
Yeah, exactly. I am expecting a substantial gift, Pabby. Because not many podcasts get to 500 episodes. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous how long we've been doing this for. What are you getting us, Pab?
I'm suddenly scrambling, going,
Perhaps you could take us on a trip.
I take
Me
you on
and Anna
enough
were
trips.
talking about going to New York Comic Con. Should we all go there to do episode 500? When's that?
It sounds fun, but I imagine it's just expensive just to...
Well, I think going to New York in general is quite expensive, yeah.
Exactly, but then to put that on top of it is just like... Ugh.
Oh, it's the same weekend as EGX anyway, so, you know, we'd have to miss EGX, and I don't know if any of us could cope with missing EGX, because that's notoriously a very good show. Not worth going to New York that weekend,
fair,
boys and girls.
This year was... We played the most games ever at an EGX, this past one.
It was strange. I think as much as I will pick on EGX from time to time, I think going there and playing as many games as I did has got me my gaming mojo back, because I've played so many games since then as well. I've played more games in the last 3 months since we went to EGX than I think I'd played in the previous 3 years, which is bonkers, really. But I think EGX has something to blame for that. And I don't know what it was, because I haven't really come back and played any of the games that I played there. But I think it just got my juices flowing again. It wetted my whistle. Exactly. I am genre man now.
See if New York will move it. Get them to change the week.
What, to like Nottingham or somewhere, so it's easier for us to get to?
Yeah.
I meant to move the date, but
Because
yeah.
that kind of defeats the purpose. Hey, New York Comic Con, rather than coming all that way, can you just hold it in Sleaford? So it's just down the road. That'd be grand.
They could probably take the back room of the pub we use for MGPX. It's done us proud.
I mean, let's invite them along. If we set up an MGPX, if anyone from New York Comic Con wants to come along and do that show as well, they are very welcome, and we'll just call it New York Comic Con in Peterborough, or wherever MGPX ends up being. Got to schedule it for when Sheepdog's on holiday. That's the plan.
I was going to say, that's a dodgy statement, where it ends up being. You're planning on moving it, are you?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be in Leicester. No chance it's going to be all the way away in Peterborough. That's far too far from my house. I like it to be just down the road.
Transport options as Peterborough.
Leicester's probably got better transport options than Peterborough, because it's got the M1 right alongside it. You've got the trains, and there's an airport near Leicester. Peterborough doesn't have an airport. That was always a criticism. No airport. But you've got East Midlands Airport just up the road from Leicester.
Last time I tried to leave Leicester, I punched myself in the face, so I'm quite worried about having to go there again and get stuck
Probably
on that
because
ring
you
road.
were so upset that you were leaving Leicester.
Yeah. I can't afford to punch myself in the face at the moment. I've already got... Well, my wife thinks I look like I'm crying all the time at the moment. My eyes playing up.
You've looked like you've been crying all the time for years.
Yeah, maybe it's finally got bad enough that I needed to do something about it. But she walked in earlier. She went to ask how I was and was like, "Oh my God, you just look like you're crying." And I was like, "Yeah, my eye feels funny."
My eye hurts. It's making me cry.
That's half the reason I didn't stream tonight, was because I just look ridiculous. I look like Two-Face.
I mean,
half my face
if that was going to stop you, you wouldn't have been streaming ever. So just looking ridiculous shouldn't be enough.
Yeah.
What have you been sticking in your eye, you weirdo? You know,
I don't know. I think
you stopped washing your hands. Now COVID's done. You've been like, well, no one's told me to wash my hands for a while. I'm just going to get my hands really dirty and then finger my eyeballs.
I think a couple of days ago, I assumed my mask had like rubbed it in my sleep or something because it felt uncomfortable. I just thought, maybe my CPAP mask has nudged my eye. It looks a bit off, and it's just got worse. Like, I made sure that didn't happen yesterday, and then today it's just been worse and worse and worse. So I went there and they given me these drops. But no, I feel bizarrely rough. I feel a little bit out of it. Even at the start of the podcast, I don't know whether you noticed, but when I said hello, I don't think L was the letter that I used in the middle of that word. I think I made up my own letter. I think I just went hello or something like that. Everybody restart the show and listen, because I'm not sure what word I said. It didn't come out as I intended it to. I asked my wife earlier. I went to say, "Is dinner finished?" As in, can I take my plate from the side? And what I actually asked her was, "Is that meal cooked?"
Have you checked you've not had a stroke?
Half
Half your face has gone weird and you can't form words. You might want to just ring 111 and double check.
She was like, "What do you mean, is it cooked?" "Of course it's cooked." And I was like, that's not what I meant to say. So I ate it and then went to bed. I didn't even talk to her. I ate it I inhaled it in 30 seconds.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. She's a lucky lady.
Yeah, so I've just been asleep. I came downstairs just before you text saying you were ready to do the podcast. I'd literally just walked downstairs to do my next round of antibiotics, and I just thought, do you know what? Yeah, I will go on there. I'll be a malingerer. I'll whine through the beginning of it, and then I'll chip in every now and again. I don't want to miss it. I've got to get to 500.
Hold on, I need to check it. I need to fact check this little story. Are you telling me you went to the pharmacy and they gave you antibiotics?
Yeah, it wasn't antibiotics. It's it is. What was it called? Like infected.
Anna's fuming now at hearing that was something you were able to do, aren't you, Anna?
Why?
What,
Oh,
that he
well,
was able to go to the pharmacy and get
doctors.
antibiotics? Yeah, we went to the pharmacy on Christmas Day to try and get antibiotics for Andy because he had an infected finger, and they sent us away, and then we got faffed about several more times and ended up getting him to the doctor 5 days later when his finger was the size of a tennis ball.
Yeah,
These
it
were
was awful.
Opti something eye drops, so I don't know,
What,
maybe they're allowed
Optimus?
to...
I have Optimus. You can buy that over the counter.
Yeah, that doesn't
Oh,
sound
No,
like
but
an
it was for
antibiotic.
infected eye drops with antibiotic in them.
Okay.
Well, they should have given him some of that for his finger. Any antibiotic would have helped, I'm sure, at that point.
Oh, yeah, his
Yeah,
finger was awful,
some
bless
word
him.
beginning with C in it. I tried to Google it quickly to explain what it was, but yeah, it's like the Optrex antibiotic version, I guess. Has to be kept in the fridge and used every 2 hours, which is a
Does it
frigging
taste of
result.
bananas?
because part of the reason Claire sent me to the pharmacy was that Emily's going to a K-pop convention tomorrow, and she'd forced me to take her. And she said, "Go and get some eye drops so that you can sort this eye out. Then you can go." And I was like, "Oh, for God's sakes, I'd rather just go on Monday and miss the convention and make you go." Anyway, when I got back, I was explaining to her that I'd got it sorted. She was all happy, and then I was like, "Yeah, but I've got to take it every 2 hours. And it has to be kept in the fridge, so I can't just take it with me in a bag."
You can use my Xbox fridge that you can plug in the car. I'm happy to
doing
lend you that. I'll drive it over now if you want. I'm always happy to
Could
help.
you imagine? Text Claire, let her know. Message her and be like, "I've got a solution."
Yeah, I'm genuinely would be delighted to help in this situation.
Yeah. So when I told her, she wasn't very happy, and I feel a little bit guilty because I'm delighted, but I also realised I can't buy any. I was hoping there'd be like anime pictures and stuff like that there as well. So I've told her to send me photos.
He's still
of any
looking for
merch.
his backpack, isn't he, Pubby? That's what it is. He wants
I
his
am.
anime
Exactly,
backpack.
It doesn't exist.
It existed one time 4 years ago, and that's what I'm.
Yeah, and
holding
that's
out
all
hope
we
for.
hear about at every convention now. When we do go to New York Comic Con, we're going to buy every one for you.
The thing is, I haven't needed a bag any time around it. That's part of the problem as well. I only ever need a bag that weekend. So if I just make do, I can leave it there.
Ridiculous human being. Has anyone else got any? I feel like we've not done much shenanigans in the last few weeks. We've been straight down to business with these podcasts. Have we got any other shenanigans stories before we get into video games? I know people aren't really here for video games, but I have many to talk about if we're ready to lump into them.
I haven't got any shenanigans, but I said at the start I wasn't sure I had much that I'd played that I could talk about, but actually I realised, no, it has been 3 weeks. I have played quite a lot of random bits and bobs. I mentioned before that we got Ollie an Xbox, so I've played a lot of games with him on Game Pass. I also want to reference the fact every Christmas, you probably have this experience where you worry that Andy opens a gift and maybe reacts badly to it. I've always had that worry with Ollie. And because one time he opened a present and turned to my sister and said, "Clothes aren't presents, Nick," and was just really annoyed and threw
That
it on the
is
floor.
accurate. That is very
Yeah.
accurate.
So we always get nervous with him and tell him to behave. But this year we went to my mum's and we're opening all our presents, and Ben opens this present, which is quite cool. It's one of these like sciencey, you build this little rocket that you stamp on this thing and the rocket can fly up to 60 meters in the sky. And he literally just turned to him and went, "I don't want this. This is rubbish." And just threw it across the room. And we were like, "No." And my sister thought it was the funniest thing ever. We were mortified, but she loves it. She was like, "That is the reaction we hope for every time we give a gift to your kids," because it was her last time. She was just like, "That's fantastic." She's texted me about it like 3 or 4 times since, asking if he's used it, enjoying the fact it happened. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm mortified." I know what'll happen. He's going to use it. It's going to land on a roof and he's going to cry his eyes out for like days that his rocket's gone. But yeah, it was very entertaining.
You could just get your ladder out and get up there and get it for him. It'll be fine.
But that ended up being another shenanigans story. Why I'm in A&E, why I've got a broken spine and stuff like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's all good content. You got to do it for the content. Get up that ladder. You'll be fine. I imagine you're a man who owns a ladder.
I own a ladder, yeah. I own a retractable ladder that folds up. You have to unfold it for the level you want it to get to. It's quite cool.
What on earth do you use that for?
I send my wife up to put the Christmas decorations up while I hold it.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, it works well. It works good. I've never
She
needed
should
it.
just sit on your shoulders.
Shuffling songs by
Oh, Alexa, stop playing bloody music in the background. I found out in my doctor's shenanigans that I'm actually 6 foot, according to them as well.
They're liars.
I know. It said on my paperwork 6 foot, and I thought, I did get my height measured while I was in there. I must have, and I've got less hair.
Was it Zealand in there measuring people's heights? That's the only explanation.
Yeah.
He likes to overestimate by about 8 inches.
Well, I was always half an inch off, roughly. I think it was. He was either half an inch or I don't know. I thought it weren't half a centimetre. That would have seemed pointless. But I was looking at my form. I'd send it off to someone, and it said on it that I was 6 foot tall. And I was like, oh. I made sure to let Mrs. Sheepdog know. She was delighted.
This is dangerous because I'm expecting at some point in the next 20 years or so, I'll start to lose inches. I can't risk there being a moment when you catch me up. That'd be awful.
Just don't get your hair cut. Keep spiking it.
Oh, he's never going to be taller than me, is he? That's ridiculous.
Anna was. She was saying.
Anna will never be taller than me. Anna's only 4'6", and you're not that much younger than me.
Don't be mean.
You're not.
You're going to start shrinking
4'11"?
further.
No, I'm probably 5.
You'll reach a point, Anna, where you just go in Kev's pocket and he just walks around carrying like a borrower.
That'd be awesome.
I'd love to be a borrower.
Then I could drag her along to places that she refuses to come to. The amount of faff we've had over the last 2 days trying to convince Anna to go on holiday. It's the most ridiculous. We're having the most ridiculous conversations I think anyone has ever had. I'm like, Anna, where can I take you on holiday? Don't really want to go on one. What's your dream holiday? Sleeping. Anna, we've got to go somewhere and do something. I don't want to. I show her a hotel. No.
Is this why she was grilling me about the holiday we booked, the Lanzarote one? She said to me, "Oh, is it hot there?" And I was like,
okay, that probably is. Yeah, she's doing background information. But she doesn't want to go to one that's got any kids there. But then I showed her an adults-only one, and she was like, "There's just loads of bars. People are going to be drinking." What, so you don't want there to be any adults or any children? I don't know where to take you.
I want a villa with a pool, but it's all inclusive.
But what you're describing there by saying a villa is you want somewhere where I can do all the driving, shopping, cooking, and cleaning. Yeah. I want a holiday as well. I want to go somewhere all inclusive where I can just have 8 meals a day, unlimited ice cream, and sleep all afternoon. It's going to be great.
Yeah, this is why we're doing where we're going, and is because Mrs. Sheepdog kept picking holidays where it was walking around and climbing things and seeing things and doing things, and I was like, look, I'm not about that. I want to go, and I basically want to get up in the morning, have my buffet, go sit by a pool while everyone else keeps busy in the pool, and I play games or read books. Then I want to go and have a buffet, and then I want to go back to my books and my games. Then I want to have a buffet, and then I want to go sit in an area where the kids are just dancing around up front while I'm having a few pints, and then they'll have something on. Like, you don't have to sit in that bit. You can go back to your room or carry on by the pool or have another buffet. But you can, my experience is they'll have like a magic act on, and you think to yourself, these are just bad enough that someone might lose a limb here. So it just makes it a little bit more entertaining because you're seeing them stack up knives and stuff, and you're thinking you've probably got another assistant on backup out there that's going to come running out at the moment that she loses an eye. And yeah, it's more entertaining at that level. I watched a bunch of students do the Lion King one year, and I thought, God, they all look so uncomfortable. It was brilliant. Or they just slap on Mr. Bean if something cancels at the last minute, and yeah, but. You're because you've been drinking since 8 a.m. You don't really know.
I'm not allowed to drink. That's the problem.
They do
On my
non-alcoholic
tablets.
stuff at these things, though. I mean,
You
You
I'll
can have ice cream, Anna. I'm only selecting the
I
ones
don't
where
like
adults are allowed
ice
ice cream.
cream.
I've been bitten by this before. Only the kids are allowed ice cream on the all-inclusive. I'm double. That's the first thing I check at a hotel is ice cream on the adults all-inclusive. They're the only ones
didn't
I'm
check
showing
that.
you.
I was checking Wi-Fi. I didn't even think about the ice cream. I mean, I'm not ashamed to just help myself.
Yeah, you're going with kids as well, so you can just go up twice. Put a false moustache on and go around a second time. Yeah, this is for my kid as well.
I thought you meant
That's
to
what I've
pretend I'm
done
a kid.
before.
It's like,
No,
that's not
just
gonna work.
put on a false moustache, pretend you're a child. No, when I went when the girls were younger, I'd always go round a couple of times or send them round. Then I'd go round and say, "I'm just picking these up for my kids, so I could get an ice cream." Or in this circumstance, 2 ice creams. Lovely stuff. I like ice cream. Ice cream's good.
Well, I'm hoping, because this was the place where I first had that apple ice cream that I've never been able to find anywhere else in the world ever. So that was the other reason we're going, spending all this money, just so that I can hopefully find a big old... Because I ate the only pot they had last time, basically on my own. I noticed that was only going down when I was scooping from it, and I
It was
had
just
it.
vanilla that was on the turn. It wasn't even apple ice cream.
Oh no, it wasn't. I mean, vanilla doesn't go that green when it's on the turn. Vanilla goes blue when it's on the turn. This is
You've ever let ice cream go on the turn. You don't know. You have no concept what colour it goes.
Yeah, I was trying to bluff my way through that, but no, I am going to spend that whole time. That is the only thing getting me to be up for going out of the resort if and when we do that, and the submarine. I want to go on a submarine again because we did that last time, but everyone was either not born or too little. Well, I mean, Claire was pregnant with Ben then, so they couldn't go on the submarine. Whereas this one, apparently, these days, pregnant women can go on them. So I'm like, oh, maybe you could have gone on it all those years ago. But yeah, I'm going to take the whole family on a submarine, and maybe we'll hijack it. Maybe we'll come home in a submarine. That'd be fun.
Anna, we need to go somewhere that has a submarine so we can get
No,
one too.
no,
Then
no,
we can have
no,
a submarine
no.
war.
You showed me a place that had dolphins and whales.
I think generally the Canary Islands
No,
have
no,
stuff like
it
that
said
around them.
Dolphin and whales.
You want
I
to go to Wales?
want to see dolphin. No, as in whales, as in the fish, the mammal.
The fish.
If you want to see dolphin, let's just buy cheap tuna.
I don't. That's disgusting. Don't talk to me anymore.
Just come to Lanzarote the 10 days that I'm there after MGPX, and I have an excuse to sneak off.
We're childless. We're not going in the height of summer. We're going for £400 a person. We're not mental.
Yeah, but you won't get the same entertainment. You won't get all the precarious magicians if you go. I mean, you might do. Actually, you might get more precarious magicians.
Right, yeah, near the Canary Islands, Anna, all year round, you've got dolphins, finback whales, pilot whales,
Yeah, but
sperm
Kevin,
whales.
we want to go to the place that has a pillow menu.
Oh, yeah, there's several places that have pillow menus.
What's a pillow menu?
That's exactly what we thought. It's an a la carte pillar menu system where you basically select the kind of pillow you'd be most comfortable with.
Oh wow! I don't know again. I didn't read all this.
Yeah,
We were
so
astonished.
that's my trade-off. I am willing to wear long trousers at dinner as long as I get to use the pillow menu. This was my trade-off.
Well, make sure you're going before August. Otherwise, I'm going to make sure there are no whales and dinosaurs. Dolphins, I was trying to say.
Why?
Well,
I'll
we're going to
scare
go
them all
before
away.
you, and I'm going to make sure there's no dinosaurs. So there you go, no dinosaurs for you.
You can also go. We sailed to a volcanic island or an island that had been made out of. I mean, all islands have been made out of lava, but this one was recent enough that it was still black. That was quite
We were supposed
fun.
to go there when we were younger, but we went elsewhere.
I think I've told the story before that was where Ollie went and played volleyball with a bunch of naked women. And I was trying to like parent him without looking like a dirty old man who was just. I was like, trying to keep an eye on him, but really wishing my wife would just take over and let me go and chill out because it felt so wrong just watching him play with them. And they were enjoying it. He was enjoying it. He didn't seem to know what was going on. And yeah, it was just like I should have gone over and be like, "Oh, little scamp," and then joined in, but I didn't have the confidence for that. So I just sat there to one side thinking, "Oh my god, I wish I had sunglasses on so I could just watch without feeling."
They'd have probably expected you to take your beach moo off as well. And as a never nude, you wouldn't have been on board with that. I'm sure.
Exactly. I was wearing my full-on bathing costume, definitely.
Right, let's talk about some video games. Anyway, I think we've done enough to convince Anna to go on holiday. Can't believe that's a thing that I have to do. It is ridiculous. I have been playing so many video games. Pab! I've got several bones to pick with you.
Oh, no. I've got something. I might have a recommendation for you this week as well.
Oh, I've got a pen and paper ready. Here we go. We'll write the recommendation down in a moment. I'll start with the big mistake that you've made and we've made as a podcast. As you'll know, when we were doing the Game of the Year, I did download pretty much everything that was mentioned on everybody's shortlists. I've only played one of them, and the one that I've played wasn't very good. Tinykin.
It's a great game.
Just
wonderful. Absolutely amazing.
It's just fannying about, not really doing anything. It's just
I do not know what you
puzzly nonsense, isn't it?
No.
Just there's no story to it. I need story in a game.
I got Ollie to get this, and he didn't like it either.
Yeah, it's
on
just
Game Pass.
What's that got to do with whether it's got a story or not? It's not magic
Why don't you
story
just download
Game
it
Pass.
on Game Pass beforehand instead of just immediately buying stuff?
I'm not sitting at my desk playing a video game like a pervert. If I'm going to play a game, I'm going to play it on the Switch or the Steam Deck. So I downloaded it on my Steam Deck, and I played it for about an hour, and then just got bored and stopped. And then I went back to it a couple of nights later to give it another go, and lasted maybe 5 minutes and just turned it off. It's just very samey, isn't it? Very repetitive. You're just going around, jumping on stuff, collecting these little things, chucking them about a bit.
Yeah,
jumping
cool
on some
do
different stuff.
That's the point.
Describing Mario.
Yeah.
No, Mario, I've got to rescue the princess. There's a purpose to it.
Yeah,
if there's a purpose to this, it's
well.
entirely
There's a
passed me
purpose to
by. Well, I don't remember the cutscene that was explained to me. If it was expecting me to read any of that nonsense that came up on the screen,
Right,
not
so
a chance.
You complain that there's no story.
I
but
ain't
then
reading stuff, Pabby.
You
I'm
complain
not-
that there is no story, but then just skip everything that's readable.
I'm not paying to read. I was paying to play. If it wants me to know what's going,
anything at all that doesn't, everything has reading in it.
This is
at some
Football
point.
Manager just
Pokemon
reading.
is all reading.
nah, Pokemon. I basically still skip through the text, but I get the gist of it from what's going on. This I played for over an hour. I got no gist. I'm just a guy. I'm just a tiny little man who, for some reason, the little bouncy things follow around. And then I can then every now and again I'll find a Polaroid camera and the little things will carry it off into the distance and I'll go and do something else.
You sure you weren't playing Pikmin by mistake?
Well, but it did feel like that,
Pikmin-like.
and I never liked Pikmin either.
Oh, I
Pikmin
don't
was
like
rubbish as
Pikmin.
well.
Yeah, I don't like Pikmin.
It had it was very Pikmin-y. So yeah, this I feel like this needs to be scrubbed from the shortlist. We've made a terrible error. I would have fought
So
against this
Pokemon
if I'd have
can as
played
well,
it.
then.
Yeah.
We'll give
you
all
haven't
its
played
votes to
Pokemon. Yeah. If you play Pokemon, Anna, for as long as I played Tinykin, then yes, that can be scrubbed from the shortlist as well.
Just 80 hours, I think you said, wasn't it, Kev?
It was about that, yeah.
He didn't play 80 hours of Tiny King.
I checked the stats just now, he did.
He's only annoyed with it because he wasn't enjoying it because he was annoyed with his other game because he didn't save and lost a save, so he decided to play Tiny Game and take any of it in because all he wanted to do was play his other game, but he was angry with it, so he put it on a 3-day suspension. That's why he didn't like it. Otherwise he would have enjoyed it.
I mean, that is all true, but I don't see how that we should be reading anything into that at all. Sometimes you have to put a game on a 3-day suspension. It wasn't just the game; the Switch was suspended for 3 days. It was not allowed to be touched for a 3-day period because I was cross with it. I think that's fine. And because of that, I didn't enjoy Tinykin. So,
Well, that's your
Pabby,
opinion.
that's
You're
all your
allowed
fault.
one.
One that I've moaned at Pab about before, I have now finished, and it was one of the best games I've ever played. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was
Finished it?
Yeah, I finished it.
Wow.
Not only that, Pabby, I've finished something else since as well. This is what I mean. I've got my mojo back. I am a gamer again. I finished Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It was absolutely brilliant. I've got 1 and 2 sat on my desk ready to play, but I'm reluctant to start them because I don't think I'll get one of them finished before the new Fire Emblem game is out in a week or two. So I'm holding fire. I'll play the new Fire Emblem first, then loop back round to Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2. But these were... I mean, 3 was just absolutely superb. It was very cutscene-y. Didn't have to read a word. I could have played this if I was entirely illiterate. No reading involved. Huge number of cutscenes. I think I said a few weeks ago when I was just getting started on it that the first 5 hours, I think I was controlling the game for about 45 minutes, and the rest of it was just like watching a couple of movies back to back, which I did sleep through, but then eventually did figure out what was going on. And there's still a lot of cutscenes all the way through, but it's such a good story that I ended up staying awake during them, which that is very high praise as far as I'm concerned for a video game. I am a little bit upset that it just ended. There was no way to go back into it and carry on playing after it ends. It just ends. And then the only way to get back into it again is to do New Game Plus. It upsets me when games do that. And I know Persona does the same thing. And now I'm JRPG man. I guess I kind of have to expect this to happen a little bit more often. But the story on this was just so good. If you like a story-based game, you've got to get yourself some Xenoblade Chronicles 3 in your life. You don't need to have played the first 2 first. It was just brilliant. It probably took me, I reckon, about 60 hours. No faffing about doing side quests. Just cracking on with it, getting on with it. I did do some of the DLC as well because I bought the season pass partway through. So some of the DLC is done. Some of the DLC isn't out yet. I'm a little bit worried about what's going to happen when the DLC comes out. Now I've finished the main game, but not started a New Game Plus. How am I going to access the DLC? Am I going to be able to use my... There's questions that still need to be asked, but ultimately, I did really enjoy it. Pab, for once, good work on recommending a game in a timely fashion, because it only came out in October, I think, and you alerted me to its existence almost immediately, and you did good. Good work, Pabby. This is how you should be. This is how it should work.
What up, Pab?
You shouldn't be waiting, for example, 5 years for me to find out about games like the next one, Pab, because I've got a bone to pick with you. You've got double bone picking on this one. If you recall, when we were down in London most recently for Comic-Con, we went to Forbidden Planet and I purchased some Persona books. I finally got around to reading my Persona 5 books, read Volume 1. It was really good. I ordered all the other volumes on Amazon afterwards because it was so good. But right at the back of this, where it has the adverts before you're done, it had an advert for NieR Automata, the manga. Or I thought it was a manga. I've now bought it, and it's a book of words, which I'm furious about. That arrived today, and it's just it's a book with words in. Can you imagine? But I saw that was in the Persona book and thought, hang about, I've heard of that. That's a video game, and it's being advertised in Persona. That must mean it's as good as Persona. It must be worth playing. I mentioned it on stream, and a couple of people in my stream said it's another one with a fantastic story and has an even better soundtrack than Persona, and that was enough for me to be sold. So I went and looked for it, saw it came out on PlayStation like 5 years ago and was ready to be very cross with you. Then found out it only came out on Switch in like October, so I bought the Switch version because everyone knows Switch games are better than all other games. It's the best console ever. Got to play it on Switch if playing it on Switch is available. So I bought it. As soon as I was done with Xenoblade Chronicles, got this in. Over the course, it was between Christmas and New Year. I played it all the way through and finished it. And I've now nearly finished it for the second time. And I've got to play it 2 more times to get the full story.
2? No, 2. No.
To get the full story, you have to play it 4 times, apparently.
There is 26 endings.
Yeah, but most of them are stupid. I've had some of the stupid endings.
Yeah, but to get the endings, you have to finish the small ones.
Nah, you don't. And
yes,
Pab,
you do. I bet you've had probably more than 2 already.
Yeah, I've had like 4. But I'm on my second proper playthrough. I've got the book as well, so I can fill in the gaps with the book that I'm now waving towards my camera. My book that is full of words and is a 235 page book. So there's a lot in there, but goodness me.
Down the toilet, surely.
Probably. This is a good game. Why didn't you tell me about this at any point in the last 5 years? This is right up my street.
Fire.
It's massively story based. It's got great music. It's fun. It's genre bending. It's constantly moving between different genres, and I don't understand why Anna hasn't told me about it, because it's basically Fallout. And between the two of you, how have I not heard about this, and how have I not already played it? Explain yourselves.
Okay, so I played it in 2017. So
Which is when I should have played it.
I will have talked about it in 2017.
Seems unlikely.
I don't know why, but I get the feeling Anna's probably played it as well, and probably
I played
mentioned
it and I didn't like it.
There you go. So it will have been brought up. Also, why are you buying it on Switch?
Because it's the best console of all time.
You've got a Steam Deck.
All right.
This game is 5 years old on PC. The Steam Deck will run it like butter compared to the Switch.
Yeah, but the Switch is the best console of all time.
Like
so if the option to buy it on the Switch, I've bought Persona 5 again on my Switch.
Why?
Ridiculous.
Because I didn't own it on the Switch, and it felt wrong for the best game of all time to not be in my collection on the best console of all time. It was in a 2-pack with NieR Automata. They got the two of them together in a bundle deal on Amazon.
Okay.
So I've now abandoned my Steam Deck playthrough of Persona 5.
So why have you got a Steam Deck then if you're just going to play everything?
Because I've downloaded Elden Ring on that. Don't get me started. We're going to get to that in a minute. But yeah, I've got Persona 5 on the Switch, and I'm going to play that on there. But yeah, this NieR Automata. So did you play it through 19 billion times then, Pabby? Why didn't you finish it? It's brilliant.
I fell off it because it came out in June, so I imagine there's other things coming out or whatever it is. And I've tried a few times to play it. I think I've bought it on PS4 when it was out on PS4 as well, and played a similar amount. I don't know what it is. It's just I don't know if
I didn't gel with it. I didn't like it.
It's so good that I played it through once, then immediately started playing it the second time, and I've nearly finished it. I did fall out with it because it has this annoying thing where you can't. It doesn't have autosave, and you can only save at certain points.
Yes.
I sat there the other night and played like probably 2.5 hours of it, and it crashed just as I finished it for the second time, the first time around.
Yeah.
It crashed, and just was a black screen for ages. I had to restart my Switch, and then when I got back into it, it taken me right. I hadn't saved all night, so it took me all the way back to where I was, like 3 missions earlier, and I just couldn't bring myself to redo them. Then that's why I had to put it on a 3-day timeout so that I could forget the thing. But the second playthrough is so different to the first playthrough. It's very clever the way it does it.
It's a different character the second time.
Yeah, you play as the other one
Play
the
as
second
Nines,
time
don't
through.
you?
Yeah,
9S.
and then the third time around, apparently it's different again. I don't know how yet, because I've not got there yet. But yeah, to get the full story, apparently you can get the full story playing it 4 times, is what you have to do. So
yeah, it's very, 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 very good. And it's a
very,
game that
very clever the way it's done it.
Yeah, it's just I wish I could bring myself to play it. And I always say yes, I'm going to. And I look at it and go, shall I install it on the Steam Deck? And then I just never do. But yes, it's one of them games that it's not that I wish I liked more, because it is that, but it's a game that I feel like I wish I could bring myself to play. I think it's just too big and too daunting for me to.
My first playthrough was only about 12 hours. Again, just mainlining it, not faffing about.
Yeah, see, that's the problem with a lot of that game. You want the story, so you play the side quests, because a lot of the side quests.
That's why I've got the book, Pabby.
That's worse. I'm not reading.
You gave me a lecture about reading on Tinykin a minute ago.
I'd rather have a little bit of reading than only reading. A game has bits of reading with gameplay, like in the middle of it. I'm not reading with it.
A small flame smoulders in the consciousness. Checkup sequence initiated. Camera connection unavailable. It's a real easy read, this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, as a computer scientist,
Does it tell
I'm
you?
gonna love reading this.
Does it tell you, like, at this point in the game, start reading here? Then you
No.
could just feel that would be ideal if you could just play the game in tandem with it, and then just stop.
I mean, there's 2 books. I've got the other one on the way as well. This one's called Short Story Long. The other one's called Long Story Short. So I'm hoping the one that hasn't come yet, which is called Long Story Short, is just going to be a few pictures and I get the gist. And then I'll never have to read Short Story Long, and this one could just go on the shelf and never be opened. Because, there's so many words in there. I feel like I've got a good grasp of what the overall story is already, and I've not even completely finished the second playthrough yet. So unless it's going to take a huge twist on what I've already found out in almost 2 playthroughs of just mainlining the main quests, I don't think I'm necessarily going to need to read a 235-page novel of it. But it's there.
Okay. I'm going to say something. It came out last year.
Do I need my pen and
2021.
paper? Pen and paper. Here we go.
NieR Replicant.
This is the previous one, isn't it? That was remastered.
This is the one that was remade.
Yeah.
Now I can't say how much of the quality of the game, but I know people liked it.
This is the one. See, I have read a little bit about this. This is the one where you actually have to play it 4 times just to get at any ending, I think. That's why the newer one had the whole play it 4 times thing, because it was something you had to do on the first one.
Yes, I don't know. This is the thing, you see, because this is the original one remade. It's not made by the same people who did NieR Automata, so I don't know whether gameplay is the same. It might be. I can't say how much it is. Say much to the game of the gameplay itself, but it could be good.
It's not on the Switch though. How dare they? I have to get it on the Steam Deck.
But just keep an eye out on when a sale's on. I bet that.
Okay.
You just missed a sale actually, so
I'll agree. I'll agree to your terms.
Yeah.
Talking of the sale, like as previously, God, it's £50, Pab.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't go that deep in on it.
£50.
Yeah. I think it was half price in the sale as well, just gone.
Right, I'll add it to my wish list, so I'm aware of it for future.
There you go.
Apparently, it's similar to games I've played, Persona 4 Golden and Persona 5 Royal. I mean, just that is enough information for me to spend £50 on it immediately. Steam have ruined me there. But yeah, the Steam sale did get me.
Yeah.
I downloaded Elden Ring.
How?
I
thought about this because it was £25, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I got it. Anna almost got it as well. Anna was watching YouTube videos about it. You were close, weren't you?
Yeah, but I have no interest in losing all the time.
Whereas I'm Kev. I did absolutely no research. I just saw that it was £25 and thought, yeah, we'll have a bit of that. It's on my Steam Deck. I haven't dared load it up yet because I suspect I'm going to hate every moment of it and turn it off within 10 minutes or so. I've not played it. I've got it sat there ready to play, and I'm asking now, should I just get my Steam refund before I even turn it on?
But at what point do you research then at that point?
Is 2 hours going to be enough for me to get a feel of whether or not I'm going to hate it? Is what I'm really asking, I think. Because I would quite like to experience it. But at the same time, I don't want to hate it really early and lose my £25.
I think so, yes. Because the first thing you do is it's not spoilers, it's not need to spoiler warn or anything. It's you fight. Well, you get dropped in and you pretty much you go straight into a boss fight.
Oh, I don't do boss fights. No,
you can go down the well of knowledge or something, can't you?
The well of what?
The well of knowledge.
See, Anna's done her research. What on earth is a well of knowledge?
In the very first area, there's like a well, like a hole in the floor. And you go down there, that's your tutorial. That's
I mean, there's just like yes, that's fine. That's fine, but
that's got a boss in it.
I mean, yes, but a very easy boss compared to the boss. Even before that, there is a boss that you start at, and you're not meant to beat that. People have beaten it, but it's not. It's basically
that's going to make me cross.
Well, no, just let it happen. Just let it happen at some point, because it just literally just get one shot by it, and then just you win the game. You don't need to worry about it. You can come back to that boss later on. There'll become a point where you can go back to it and go, oh, hello, I remember you. But then after that, you will do the tutorial, which is probably like 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes at the most. There is an easier boss.
By
at
which
the end.
point, I'm going to be an expert at the game and be really, really good at it.
It's one of the few games that Dark Souls games that has a full like tutorial kind of thing, and then it puts you out into the open world and goes.
I mean, for the record, genuinely hated Demon Souls and Dark Souls. Really hated them.
For your benefit, Kev, to show you how easy this series is, I saw a guy on YouTube the other day who managed to play all the Demon Souls, Dark Souls, and Elden Ring without getting hit once, and anytime he got hit, anytime he took any damage, he had to restart the series, and he completed Elden Ring the other day, having done them all back to back without getting hit a single time.
It's
so
easy then.
You know what I saw the other day? In fact, it's still ongoing, I think. There is someone on Twitch who is currently playing it, not live right now, but I mean, currently playing the series simultaneously, both playing it with a controller and playing it with a dance mat.
Back 2 different consoles.
Sounds very
two
easy.
different systems, literally at the same time.
Yeah, so you'll be fine with just your hands and a controller.
Are you not still there?
Or if you've got a dance mat, you can have a go with a dance mat. But yeah, you literally you will do the tutorial. And
Anna? Hold on. Anna's
Hello?
saying, what's the matter?
Oh,
Anna?
what's happening?
She's unplugged her headphones, I think.
Oh.
Hello?
Anna, have you unplugged your headphones? She's just going to keep saying hello now, isn't she? I mean, she must have just unplugged her headphones or muted the headphones somehow. This is amazing. You two talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to go and just plug her headphones back in.
You go and do that. What was I going to say? Oh, it doesn't really matter now. I was going to tell Kev it is doable.
It's just gone.
He's gone. It's fine. It's fine. Do you want to start offloading?
Thank you. Yeah,
Offloading all of your games that you said you didn't know you're playing, and it turns out you've played a load of them.
I got a lot of games for Christmas. I'm wondering if this is a good time to put an ad in and then come back after the ad.
Can do that. I mean, okay, let's just put an advert in. Okay, it's done. It is done, Sheepdog.
Yeah, just in case she has a technical issue.
Yeah, but the recording doesn't stop, Sheepdog, so we still got to go. I'm not cutting things. What do you think I am? As some sort of editor?
It is your job, but I'm just waiting. I'm expecting there to be. I mean, we can't hear them talking, therefore something has gone wrong.
We'll hear Kev on Anna's mic. Kev is back.
No, he's come back.
Kev is back. Okay, there's a conclusion, listeners.
What's happening then? We can't hear.
He can't.
I'm back.
He's just
You're
talking
back.
to him. He's not even got his headphones on now.
He is now.
We carrying on?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dave just growled and I turned around and then it stopped working. So
Did she unplug her
She'd
headphones?
unplugged her
Same
headphones,
Dave.
yeah. She
For
unplugged them.
goodness sake.
That's fine. We've put an advert in the middle of all that, so it's fine. We're still going though.
Pab was like, do you want to unload all your stuff? And I was like, not until I know that we're not stopping or anything. So the listeners just got me and Pab debating whether or not we were going to turn anything off. And it's just,
I mean,
He
that's
thinks-
top quality
He
content.
thinks I'm going to edit this stuff out, and I'm not.
no, I don't expect you to at all. I'm familiar with your work.
So in summary, you'll get a detailed Elden Ring review next week. So I imagine I'll have finished it by next week.
Probably completely blind.
You will not have finished it. Not if you're trying to do it within 2 hours.
We'll see, Pab.
If you play an hour,
Hold on. Let me rephrase that. By next week, I think I'll be finished with Elden Ring.
okay. If you play an hour, I'd be stunned.
Wow, I might do that before bed.
You need to stream that. I'd like to see you play
I
a
can't.
Dark Souls game.
I can't risk my my numbers. I'm afraid.
Oh, just be on the other channel, just 1 hour, just so I can watch. You lose your mind.
I'll stream it to you on Discord, and you can just watch it on Discord.
Yeah, just put it up after this,
Yeah.
and we'll all have a laugh.
Right, so I mentioned Pab asked me about what because I was very conflicting in how I summed up my 3 weeks. Basically, I didn't think I'd played very much because for Christmas I got quite a lot of, well, not a lot of games, but enough games. I got Final Fantasy Crisis Core. I got Marvel Midnight Suns. I got Mario 3D with Bowser's Fury. I was very clever in that I let Santa bring Ollie Sonic, what's it called? The new Sonic? Frontiers. I let Santa bring him Cuphead, which I also wanted.
Oh, Jesus.
And there was another game that he asked for that I wanted, and I let him get, which I can't remember off the top of my head.
You're such a generous guy, aren't you?
Yeah, I just figured, you know what? Let the big man bring it from the North Pole. I'll just borrow it from him. But
or confiscate it from him if he misbehaves. That would be even better.
Exactly. So then Christmas comes around. I've been very good and waited to play any of my games. I thought, right, after family stuff's happened, I'll probably, at some point over the 10 days I had off work, get a chance to just sit on my own and play these games. And I have started 0 of them because Ollie got an Xbox as well. And my Christmas morning was spent downloading him all the Game Pass games, even though I kept saying to him, you've got a big old pile of Switch games over there. Why don't you sit downstairs with us? And I didn't really think this through. He wanted to sit in his room and play Xbox.
You understand that you get kids Xboxes, they don't care if you exist anymore.
Well, we got Lucy an Xbox and she didn't even take it out of the box.
Well, because she doesn't have anything. She hasn't
didn't have a
even
telly.
got a TV either.
She asked me for an Xbox. She asked me for an Xbox for Christmas. So we did Christmas before she did it with her mum. And we got her the Xbox and she opened it. It was like, really hope mum's got me a TV. So, I mean, you could have mentioned, we could have coordinated this. I assumed she had one.
Excellent.
Goodness me.
To be fair, my daughter did similar. She asked for like 8 random different. So K-pop CDs come in like these big boxes with loads of photos and key rings and bits and bobs and paraphernalia. And she asked for like 8 of them. And I was like, do you own a CD player? She was like, no. I've never owned a CD. And I was like, well, you're going to need a CD player. So she got that for Christmas as well, so she could actually use the CDs, which has been a bit of a nightmare because she's playing it all the time now, and all I can hear is Korean music coming out of her room. It's very frustrating, and I can't just turn it off like I could Spotify. I'd have to go in there. And she's got a cord. The wire, you pull like a bathroom light, and it turns it off and on, which is very confusing when we were trying to set it up, because she asked me to set it up thinking, you're old, you'll know how to do this, and I couldn't find the on button. And then when I read the instructions after about 15 minutes, it just said, yank the cord and it starts, which was very cool. But anyway, back to games. So I also got the Mario Kart DLC. That was the other thing I couldn't remember. And I'm taking part in a Mario Kart tournament, even though I've not played Mario Kart in a long, long time.
Professional Mario Kart tournament. Is this your new thing? You're a professional Mario Kart.
The people that I'm playing against are very, very good, and I'm not. So I'm probably going to come last in that. But so because Ollie got his Xbox, all he's then wanted to do is challenge me to games on that. And I did bring up a list of all the ones we played because there were so many, it was ridiculous. And that's all I've been forced to do. Anytime I had any downtime or away from things, I convinced him to play Worms WMD at one point, which I know is a little bit of an older game. It's on Game Pass. We did quite a few rounds on that, although we found that we did more damage to our own worms than we did to each other's. But that was good fun. Him and Ben are obsessed with Rubber Bandits. I don't know if you ever played that, but it's like a crime game where you could just smash the living heck out of each other on it, and they're all rubber, so it doesn't matter. So we played that for quite a bit. That was good fun. What else did we do? He fired up No Man's Sky, and I kind of helped him with it. And I was actually, I felt the need to bring this up on the podcast because obviously I was very Mr. Negative about how they'd promised the world on this. And obviously after many updates, they've got to the point where it's actually what they envisioned it being. And it actually seems really cool, and he really likes it. And he keeps referencing it. And I don't know all the references he's talking about. I don't know all the things he's referencing to me. He just finds it really cool. And I had a little bit of a go of it with him and thought, yeah, he's right. It is cool. And I feel like I was probably quite hard on it back in the day when it was happening then. I was quite hard on that back in the day. And actually it's a good little game. So good on them, and I might get that myself at some point, although, as I mentioned, I've got a big pile of shame to work through. One that he also got me playing, which I don't really get why he likes this as much as he does, but then I guess he's just doing he's just got into it. It's his obsession at the moment. He's been playing Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. I knew it was called TABS, but I can't remember what that stood for, and that is just leveling up, like setting up two armies opposite each other and seeing how it plays out, basically. But he's obsessed with that. He's put more hours into that than any of the games we spent money on, any of the games Santa brought, and all that kind of thing. So all of my time has been hoovered up by playing all of these. He made me play Minecraft for a bit, but it was, a little bit flat. I think I've hit what you were hitting in summer, where it's like, well, I did everything when I got on the new server with people over August. I did everything, and now there's nothing new in the game. I can't be bothered. So I struggled for a bit with that, which is why we ended up playing all these other games. But at some point, I intend to get on this pile of shame and figure this out. I'm worried about Final Fantasy Crisis Core. Have you ever played it, Anna?
Yes, long time ago.
Is it like, was it Dirge of Cerberus, where it was like an action RPG and you just kind of ran around hacking, or is it like an RPG game, more like Final Fantasy Remake?
Oh God, I haven't played the new one, but the last one was more like Final Fantasy, like a normal Final Fantasy, but it was just it was a strange story.
Yeah, I'm expecting a strange story. I need to get down and get into it. It is enticing me. I'm just, I'm worried about starting it because I don't want to find out it's a bit of a pup and not enjoy it or whatever. I played more of Empire of Sin, but I'm terrible at that, and it's not as polished as XCOM, so I've struggled with getting that into that properly. I die in that a lot. I feel like I've not got the difficulty very high, and to keep dying in it is frustrating because I'm not that, having completed both the XCOM games, I know I can't speak. I know that I can play these to a high level and that kind of thing. I don't know whether it's just that I'm slightly off. I am trying to lean on the fact I'm unwell as an excuse, because I also started playing. I was off sick just before Christmas at work and started playing. Someone said, I was like, I feel like I should be doing something productive even though I'm off. And they were like, don't be productive. Come on Pokemon Violet, and we'll just battle each other. We'll have a mini tournament. There was 4 of us. We just were playing each other. I lost every single battle. I was very ashamed of myself because I had the right team to the right counters to a lot of the Pokemon that destroyed me. So I think I'm just not 100%, and that's my excuse. That's what I'm sticking to. I feel like I was on the wane, and now once I'm back to good health next week after, hopefully I'll be able to go back and destroy him. But yeah, I'm feeling like that's why I don't want to get into the Mario Kart tournament until I know I'm 100% again. I did a lot of shiny hunting in Pokemon Scarlet. I've streamed Pokemon Violet, so I feel like I have been playing quite a bit. It's just none of the new shiny stuff that's sat in my pile that I'm excited about getting into has actually been touched. Obviously, future podcasts, I'll hopefully have some cool things to say about them. But yeah, that's been my month, really, just really wanting to play new games. I also realised I haven't touched Cyberpunk yet. That's been set in my pile. So I'm worried about any of these new games going the way of that and just never being touched. But I'll get there, I'm sure.
Splendid.
Who's next, Anna, Pub?
I've played next to nothing.
In 3 weeks, that cannot be true. I've seen you play things.
Yeah, nothing spectacular. I played a couple of hours, and you think I have, but I haven't. Past couple of days I've been playing the Ascent again. So I found out how it works. Your armor, because your armor has different stats, and I couldn't get past this fire spider thing, and worked out that if you get all your stats high in the fire category, then you have more damage protection, and then you can kill it as long as you've got so it's a robot fire breathing spider. I needed high fire resistance, but then I also need a electric shock kind of gun, and it took me 3 tries and I killed it, so yay for me. So I'm further into the game, but I do like that game. It's like Cyberpunk, but like micro, so it's top down, and it's so pretty, the background and the atmosphere, and it just looks so good. I wish it was a full, you would in the game, you would a first person shooter or something. It's just so pretty. And now I'm playing Spider-Man from the start again, because I'm just in that kind of I have nothing to play. I have loads to play, I just can't be bothered. But yeah, I haven't played a lot. at all. I did try the one with the faces. Faces
game
on
with
guns.
faces in it.
The guns had faces. I forget what it's called. It was on the Xbox.
High on Life.
Oh, the Rick
Yeah,
and Morty
I didn't
type thing.
understand half the humour. I was like, what? Just a lot of like fart jokes and just inappropriateness, and I was just like, this is a bit too like childish. Like one of the achievements was like Fallout wouldn't let you do this, where you kill a kid, and I'm like, I don't really want to go and kill an alien child. Like that's not what I want to do. Like I had to because I had to progress, but no, it wasn't for me. It was just very weird. I did like the fact that the guns had like faces and they had like character, but I just didn't get half the jokes. I don't think I'm of that ethos, which is fine. Like people find that funny, that's fine. I was just like, I just couldn't be bothered. But yeah, that I've played every single day. I've had to endure iPad every morning for about an hour, and for like Andy likes to do just certain things and won't complete challenges, and it really bugs me. I just like I would have everything open now if he would let me, but no. Does he let me complete the challenges? No, he just wants to do certain things and then leave. Like iPad is lovely, like it's a lovely thing. It interacts well, even though it's like 12 years old. It's lovely. Like it came out in 2009. So it's like I'm back on the PlayStation 3 that sounds like a jet. Like, oh my god, I forgot how loud they were. But I got this in 2010. So it's like a 12-year-old console and it's still going. It makes noise, but it's still going. Mine died like 2012, 13. I cried when mine died. But yeah, iPad, it's fun and it's lovely, but oh my god, please let me do the challenges. Because like this one where you have to sing and he won't let me do it, and I know how to get past the challenge, but will he let me sing? No. Will he let me clap to collect the stars? No. So I've got so bored. It's every day since Christmas Day I've had to do this, and I'm bored of it. That's why I don't want to play games, because I play that and I just lose the will to live, because he doesn't play games how they're supposed to play, like Kevin doesn't. Kevin is just just play the game, just do what it says. But yeah, so I do that for an hour and lose the will to game. So I haven't played that, but I am playing Spider-Man again with my new controller. Like I was playing Ascent like yesterday, and I was like walking through the world, and I have like the new controller, like a pink one, and I could feel the rain. It was delightful. Like I could feel the rain through the controller, and it's great. Like these new ones, I don't know what they've done, but they feel better. Like they feel like weighty. And Kevin says you can't feel the weight if it's charged or not, and I believe he is wrong. So I can pick up a controller and know if it's empty or if it's full.
You cannot.
Yes, you can.
Absolute
I can.
nonsense.
But yeah, I'm now playing original Spider-Man from whenever it came out, 2017, 18, 19. But yeah, I'm in the Fisk. Where am I? I'm in the museum. So I'm doing that at the moment because it's a game that I understand, and I really want number 2 to come out. So yeah, that's it. That's all I'm doing. So over to Pab.
That's me.
That is you.
That is me. What have I been playing? So, let's set my list. I've played about 90 minutes of High on Life. I don't mind it. It is very much, you're right, it is very much one of those things where you kind of have to have been, you don't have to like Rick and Morty, but it goes a long way towards making you like that game. It's got the same patter of Rick and Morty, where a lot of stuff feels kind of like just ad-libbed sort of thing and improvised, and I don't mind it. I think the gameplay itself is all right. It's for what it is. I wasn't expecting it to be as competent as it is. Like you get like there's like a dodge button, a slide. All these upgrades you get relatively early on.
Yeah, it's not a bad game. I just don't get it. Like I don't.
No, it is very much one of them games that if you're into that Justin Roiland kind of humour, then it is that. It is very much that. And there's lots of other different guns with different voices and different celebrities in the game. There's also movies in the game.
There's also what?
Movies. There are 4 full-length movies in that game.
Ah.
I've seen there's achievements where if you watch one, you get an achievement, isn't there? Like
you could literally watch 4 full-length movies. So yeah, they're not. You're not going to be watching Avengers. One of them that I relatively recently got was like Tanny and the T-Rex or something. I was like, I'd never heard of this, but it's got Denise Richards and Paul Walker in it, and I was like, all right. I started watching it. You could literally just sit there next to your alien mate on the couch and watch it. The only problem is that you get and go, okay, I better go and do the game. You come back, it started again. Oh, I was 20 minutes in. I'm not watching the first 20 minutes again of this like D-list film. But yeah, I don't mind it. The premise is what's the premise? You're a human. You're a human that your planet is invaded by aliens because aliens want to consume you, because apparently humans are the best drug in the galaxy, and they want to smoke you because, like I say, they have pretty much humans are the best drug, is what apparently according to the G3 cartel. So you find the gun, they call them like Gatlians or something like that. The guns who have a little personality and talk to you in a face that chats to you every now and again, and so then you effectively become a bounty hunter to be able to get to this cartel. So then you befriend a down and out bounty hunter who gives you all his gear, and then you get like his bounty hunting, like his list effectively, and then you start going through the list of you basically start running through bounties, going to different planets, different worlds, and that's where you'll unlock all your different guns, your different abilities. And along with that is all the pitter-patter of Justin Roiland and all the humour of that Rick and Morty-esque sort of thing, which I don't mind. You can turn that down, though, Anna, in the settings. If you didn't want that, if you didn't want the jibber-jabber of the guns or the enemies, you can turn it down. Okay. I think it's set in the, like I checked the settings tonight, and it is set to frequent as default. Okay. So if you just was like, I don't need to hear you prattling on for, just keep chatting to me. But yeah, I don't mind it. I sat here tonight, I want to say for 15 minutes, watching there was a robot on the TV screen, just counting down, and I sat here 15 minutes going, what is happening? What are you counting down to? And then it just called me a rude word when it got to the end.
I see.
I got an achievement for it, but I tell you, I spent 15 minutes listening to a robot count down for that time, and then it just laughed at me and called me a rude name. I was like, all right, that was worth it. And it said if you get to the end, there's a prize. So I went, okay, I've got to see what it is. I've got to see what it is now, just because there's this robot on the screen telling me there's a prize coming if you just wait for this countdown. So I did.
Fair enough.
But I don't mind it. I'll play some more. It's on Game Pass.
It is.
So it's if you're at least intrigued, the game itself is not awful, and if you can if you can stomach the humour, then it is more than competent.
Yeah, there's
game.
plenty of people out there who like that kind of thing. I just Not
And
me.
like I say, you
it's
can turn the chatter down if it's
Okay.
not necessarily your thing. Even though, like I say, in the grand scheme of things, it is still very much one of those games. What else have I played? I, like you, Kev, as also I've fallen foul to the Steam sale big time. I have
That's a good boy.
What did you buy?
I have also I did buy Tinykin again. Well, no, I didn't have it the first time I had it on Game Pass, but I wanted to play it on the Steam Deck. I love that game. I love it. I don't know what you. Well, I know what your problem is. You want to read.
I ain't reading anything.
Yeah. I like that game a lot. I've now done probably 3 times as much as what I did last time. I think I just about finished. I think I started the third level. I just enjoy it. It's a game that I can put on my Steam Deck while I'm watching something on my iPad and not really have to pay 100% attention to it. I could still be watching what I'm watching on my iPad and kind of just running around, collecting stuff, throwing my little tiny kid around, destroying things, setting things on fire, getting different items that you need to get. Yeah, I do think it's good. I like I say, it's not surprising to me that it is turned up on many people's Game of the Year's list this year. It's not a not a bad game at all. Is what I'm trying to say. I've been playing. I've gone way back. I'm playing Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance.
Wow.
Which was originally a PS2 game. It got
a PS2 game.
Yeah, it got remastered, or whatever it was, last year. I want to say 2021. And me and a friend of mine who played it originally on the PS2, both got it, and we've been playing it on Steam. And damn, is it an hard game? You don't remember how much time you had as a kid to just redo stuff. Like you said, Kev, about NieR Automata, about save checkpoints. There's no checkpoint in the game. You got to save at a save point. You die, you go back to that. You go back 20 minutes.
Yeah, we used to put up with that nonsense in all games. I'm glad that went away.
Yeah. And yeah, it is a co-op Diablo-like game. And I loved it when I was a kid. Loved it, absolutely loved it. And yeah, it is very much a thing of like Diablo, where you kill, like, it's top down like that, like Diablo is, and you kill enemies, you get some loot, you change all your gear, you stop everything, you change your loot out again, you swap all your weapons over. But it's just rock hard. It's like everything's like enemies just are like two-shot you. You're like, what? They've done like the sewers, which is like the first level. We've done one level, and it's just insane how difficult the game is. And it's just like you just expect you to go, I hope you saved. I hope you saved, because otherwise you're starting from the beginning. And there's just save checkpoints throughout this dungeon. There's tons of them, but we just ended up save scumming. We'd kill like 3 enemies and run back, save, kill another 3 enemies, run back, save. Because I'm not doing that again. That was insane. And we just back and forth for a bit, and we'll continue to do that and chip away at that now throughout the year, because there's also Dark Alliance 2 is also got remastered as well, so we'll work onto that one. So yeah, I do it like I've always liked that game. Well, it's always the rose tinted glasses of remembering playing games of your youth and going, that was amazing, and going back to it nowadays, you're like, it's good, but damn, did we have a lot of time on our hands just to constantly just bang our heads against this wall. The main thing I want to say I've been playing for the last over Christmas, and I'm now fully in on, is Marvel Snap. I was in it before. Boy, am I in it now.
I've had a little go on this as well.
It's
only a little go.
Yeah, don't. I've been chipping away at it for weeks and weeks and weeks, and doing bits and bobs, and slowly going through the thing and going, I don't know where they're talking about this battle pass. It's like, it's a new season coming. I don't know what's happening. I was playing the Recruit Battle Pass, which is basically the tutorial Battle Pass, and I got to the end of it, and then it goes, "Here's the Battle Pass that you. This is the actual Battle Pass for the game. Do you want to buy it?" And I went, "Yes, I do." And then I'm glad I didn't. I stopped myself because I was thinking, but it says December's Battle Pass, and I went, "We're in January now. This is the 1st of January when I'm looking at this," and I'm like, "I don't know if I do." And then the day after, it was a different Battle Pass, so I nearly paid $8.99 for a Battle Pass that would have ended by the time I'd woke up the next morning.
Well, you'd have been a silly goose if you'd have done that.
I know, but I would have got Silver Surfer, but that doesn't matter there and there. Yeah, so there's a new Battle Pass now, and you unlock a second deck, so now I've got 2 decks now, and I'm just enjoying it. It's a really cool, fast card game that, like, you have 12 cards and there's so much synergy between the cards. The stuff I'm seeing now, because I'm actually playing real people now as well. That's the thing. Towards like the end of the like tutorial Battle Pass, I started getting like real people I'm playing against, and you start seeing the synergy between the cards and what things people do, and you're like, that's really clever. And that's a TCG for you, innit? But this one is like much pared down, much simpler, much faster. Like I say, 5-minute games. 5-minute games that you can do. Like I say, I play a game at lunch break, and it's just like I say, 5 minutes, and it is cool. I like I say, I go in there multiple times a day to go through the shop update of like fast upgrades of cards, so that I can work through progress, and we're going through umpteen different upgrade paths you can go through with cards. There's all different variants in the shop, which I don't overly like. There's a lot of like pixel art variants. I don't like them. There was a Jim Lee one, and I couldn't afford it because that would have been real money. At that point, if I was looking at a Jim Lee variant card, which was cool, but couldn't do it. I think it was Jim Lee anyway. But I do like that game. I do just like having a mobile game, because I haven't played a phone game in years, realistically. Realistically, phone games have just gone out the window for me. But I was so invested in this that I was actually playing it on Steam the other day, because you can log into your phone account. You know, you either Google or your Apple account, so it just brings all your progress over, and it is pretty much just a enlarged phone screen on your monitor. It doesn't just fill the screen with like Hearthstone does or anything like that. It's just pretty much like a little window down the middle, which looks like it's effectively like just a large phone screen. But yeah, it's just very good. I do like Marvel Snap, and if you're inclined to play a card game, this is very good, and don't get involved, because you will just lose yourself to this game. And that's pretty much it. I've played Fortnite. I'm back on Fortnite. I'm annoyed with Fortnite, and I still enjoying Fortnite. So I've effectively not played properly for about a month. And we're about 3 or 4 weeks into the Battle Pass now, and then I don't know if I said this when I last played Fortnite. I don't know if I did. I don't think I did. But do you have weekly challenges to go through the Battle Pass on Fortnite? But you don't get them anymore. Like, it used to stack up. It'd say like week 1's challenges, here's week 2. So you could, like, if I joined at week 7 of the Battle Pass, I could then go back through every single week's challenges and work my way up the Battle Pass. You can only get those challenges for that week, and then they're gone. And it's infuriating, because I'm effectively 3 weeks down on the season now, and I can't make those levels up with doing the challenges, because they're no longer available. Every single week, the challenges refresh with a new week's challenges, which is forcing you to play the game week in, week out, and you can't really afford to miss it. And it annoys me. It annoys me because, like I say, I haven't played in best part of a month, and now I'm having to thinking, well, I'm not going to get to finish the Battle Pass. I probably will, but it's just going to be that much harder now, and it's putting more pressure on me to do the challenges like within that week. Whereas like last time, there were some challenges that seemed like impossibly difficult for me to do, like get sniper headshots, 10 sniper headshots. I was like, well, I wouldn't do that in a season. or maybe I would do it in a season, wouldn't do it in a week, and I could chip away at that over a season, and it'd eventually tick over, and I'd complete it. But now I've got that week to do it, and that's it. If I don't finish it, it's gone, and I don't like that. It's forcing
keep the players up, though, isn't it? To keep the servers.
Yes,
high or whatever it is.
I feel like that's what I feel like it's doing. And I had a think last night when I was playing it. I was thinking, well, it says like go to a certain location and use this item on it or whatever it is. If they put that challenge into week 1, that means they have now committed to that content being there for the entire season. So that's what I feel like it is as well. It allows them to change content in the game and do different things in the game that doesn't, handcuff them to a certain thing that they've got to keep, because people who join the Battle Pass in week 9 have got to be able to do the week 1 challenge stuff. They can change different aspects of the game based on what the challenges are that week, which I think like is an aspect. For me, the main aspect is they're getting people to play more. It feels like that anyway. I don't like it, but there was a bit of rationale in my head when I was thinking about it last night. Fortnite's Fortnite. I'm nearly got Doom Guy on the Battle Pass. I'm on my way now, and that is it for me this week.
Well, on that note, we will end things then, boys and girls. If you want to follow us on the internet, you can do that by following us at MGUK Podcast, or you can follow me at Lelujo.
And you can follow me at RB6K.
I'm at Miss Lelujo.
And I'm at Pab1986.
And we will see you next week, boys and girls.
Have a good week.
Toodle pip.
Thanks for listening, folks.